some night, huh?
Oh, yeah, you got that right. First, what? Teresa walks out on Ethan at your house, and then she almost gets killed in that motorcycle accident she had. And then Ethan finally admits that he loves her. And then all that, who is he gonna choose stuff back at the hospital?
Yeah, that was definitely intense.
And ain't over yet. I mean, Ethan staying at Teresa's house after he drove her from the hospital, that's gotta mean that he chose her over Gwen.
You know, part of me is so happy for Teresa. I mean, she's loved Ethan her entire life, and it looks like her dream to be with him might be coming true. I just don't know if their love is gonna be enough, you know?
Because of who he is?
Pilar was right when she said that the Cranes will not let Teresa come between Ethan and Gwen. I mean, their marriage has been planned ever since they were kids. No way will they let Teresa derail a wedding that's just a week away. They're gonna come down on her so hard. And not to mention Gwen, you know?
Miss Thing is gonna hit the roof.
I mean, who can really blame her? She trusted Teresa. She was convinced that all Teresa felt for Ethan was just friendship. But once Gwen finds out that her fiancé and her maid of honor are in love, I get the feeling that we're going to be going to a funeral instead of a wedding. Teresa's funeral, because Gwen is going to kill her.
Hi, Gwen. It's me again. Calling to check on you and see how your father's doing after his heart attack.
Well, thank God it was only acute indigestion.
Well, I guess you and your mother are still at the hospital with him, so I'll try you again later.
God, he's so caring and attentive. You know, that was the 5th time he called to check on me and Daddy. Now, does that sound like a man who's been lured away by another woman? One who'd call off our wedding at the very last minute?
No, but you're not married yet. Teresa still has a week to work her wiles on him.
Mother, you have got to stop being so paranoid. Teresa is not after Ethan, and Ethan is not in love with Teresa. He is totally devoted to me, and only me.
Let me get this straight. You're telling me that you're in love with Teresa and you're gonna call off your wedding to Gwen?
That's right.
Wow. I mean, I know that you felt something for Teresa after you told me you kissed her, but I didn't know that it was this serious, that it had gone this far.
Neither did I, but it happened. And now I'm telling you, and Teresa's probably telling Luis.
Oh, Luis, God help us all.
Well, Teresa thinks she may be able to handle her brother.
Yeah, if she has good aim with a tranquilizer gun.
Teresa may be overly optimistic about how Luis will take the news that his sister's in love with me. You know, after all, I am a Crane.
I know how he'll react. In fact, we'll probably hear the explosion all the way over here.
Aren't you being just a little melodramatic?
I wish. I mean, if Teresa tells Luis that you two are in love, it'll probably start World War III.
Well, what you want to tell me must be pretty good, because I haven't seen you this happy in a long time.
I've never been this happy, Luis, never.
So what has you walking on air?
My news is so big. Are you sure you're ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to tell you everything.
I would hold the hand of the one who could lead me places, and kiss the lips of the one who could sing so sweet. And I would fly on the wings of a bird I knew could take me highest. Breathe in, breathe out. You keep me alive. You are the fire burning inside of me. You are my passion for life.
I know Luis is a concern that I'll have to deal with sooner or later. But what I'm really concerned with is Gwen. And how she'll react to the news that not only do I love Teresa, but that I'm calling off the wedding.
My guess is not well.
Sheridan, I'm really worried about her. I mean, I know she's going to be devastated no matter how I tell her, and I hate that.
I can see how hard this is for you. The spot you're in.
I haven't told Teresa, but it's been hell. It's just that I don't want to hurt anyone. But there's no way around it.
Gwen's going to be crushed.
You know, I love her. I really do. I mean, Gwen has been a part of my life ever since we were kids. And we always knew we'd get married and have children one day. And we're a good team. A good match. And Gwen is wonderful. And I couldn't ask for a better person to build a life with.
But now there's Teresa.
And she came out of nowhere. I mean, I didn't even see her coming. But we have grown so close these past few months. I mean, we have such fun together. I mean, she makes me laugh. And she makes me see a part of myself that I never saw with Gwen.
But you love them both.
Yes, I love them both. Love Teresa and Gwen. It makes me feel like an incredible heel because of it.
Oh, you sure right about Teresa having to take on both Ethan and Gwen's families. Yo, that is one nasty fight waiting to happen. Especially with Mrs. Hotchkiss in the mix.
The Crane and the Hotchkiss families are so powerful. I mean, I can't even imagine all the awful things they could do to her.
Hey, personally, I think Teresa will be able to handle anything they dish out. And then some, because, yo, if there's one thing I know about that girl, she is strong. And, yo, when it comes to Teresa loving Ethan, nothing gonna stand in her way. Not the Cranes, not Gwen, not even Gwen's big, bad mom.
You know what? I totally forgot about Luis. He's gonna be furious. Dealing with him is gonna be her biggest challenge. You know what? I just hope she doesn't make the mistake of telling him just yet, you know?
I'm sure she'll wait.
I am not. You know what a dreamer Teresa is. How impulsive she can be. I mean, I love the woman to death, trust me, but sometimes, no, I take that back. Most of the time, she lives in her own reality.
Yo, Teresa's world.
I mean, I can just see her thinking that because, you know, she loves Ethan, that Luis will accept it. Of course, that's right before Luis's head explodes and the force of the blast kills them both.
Yo, I remember this one time when Luis was going off on the Cranes, actually, back when Sheridan was doing her time at the youth center. You sure right about him hating them people. Actually, I don't think he'll ever accept Ethan and Teresa being together.
Well, out with it, sis. What has you so happy?
What I have to say is so amazingly incredible. It's like living in a dream come true. From now on, Luis, my life will never be the same.
Well, come on, the suspense is killing me here.
What I have to say is so wonderful to start with, but it's even more wonderful knowing that you and Sheridan are getting close again. Now I am sure that you'll understand and be happy over what I'm going to tell you.
The Cranes will destroy anyone who gets in their way. And I fear not only for Teresa, but for Luis as well. His search for what happened to his father. His relationship with Sheridan, I mean, they could pose a threat to Alistair and Julian. And if Teresa is a threat to Ethan, Mary, and Gwen, the Cranes will come after both my children.
Mom, are you all right? You look so pale.
I know what upset you. It's what you heard Teresa saying, isn't it?
Yeah, how could this happen? I mean, how could I end up being in love with two women? I mean, this isn't like me at all. At least, I never thought of myself this way. I mean, I've always been a one-woman man, and that one woman has always been Gwen.
Don't be so hard on yourself. You're a great guy, but you're also human. It's not as though you were chasing Teresa behind Gwen's back. Your feelings for her just sort of happened. It's no one's fault. Sometimes we can't control what's in our hearts.
This is going to crush Gwen.
Well, the wedding is only a week away. Gwen's going to be devastated.
It's just the last thing I wanted to do was to hurt Gwen.
you're serious about calling off the wedding, then I'm afraid you have no choice.
I got this as Ethan's wedding gift. I hope he likes it. I had it engraved with both our birth dates, our wedding date, and I had it inscribed with "Born to be Together."
You made an excellent choice.
Oh.
I mean, it's very tasteful, yet romantic, and yet an ever so gentle reminder that you are Ethan's destiny. Not that half-breed social climber.
Oh, Mother.
What? I just want this wedding to come off. That way Ethan gets his gift and you get Ethan.
Mother, that's it. Okay, I really don't want to hear any more of your ridiculous insinuations about Ethan and Teresa. Mother, my wedding is only a week away. Ethan would never back out now. God, not that he ever would. Ethan loves me. He always has. Ever since we were kids, Ethan and I have talked about getting married, and now it's finally happening. Please don't ruin this for me, Mother, please.
Oh, Gwen. I'm not trying to ruin your wedding. I'm trying to save it.
What is to save? Mother, Ethan loves me and he's gonna marry me. Really, Mother? If Ethan were going to leave me for another woman, do you honestly think it would be the housekeeper's daughter?
Gracias, mija.
Mama, I'm sorry if what Teresa said upset you. But it's true, Sheridan and I are starting to reconnect.
Is that so?
Yeah, it started tonight after Dr. Russell hypnotized Sheridan. Took her back to when her nightmares started.
Dear God, what happened?
Well, first all hell broke loose. What Sheridan thought she remembered made it look like she'd killed Papa.
What? Dios mío,
No, but
Mark.
no, it's okay. That's not what happened. Things Sheridan remembered, like seeing the blood on her hands and seeing the body under the bloody sheet in the coffin. Well, they made it look like she'd killed Papa, but Dr. Russell dug deeper, found out that Sheridan didn't kill anybody.
Oh, thank God.
Then, what did the nightmare stem from?
No, her mother's death. Of course, she wasn't to blame, but she felt responsible because her mother never recovered after she gave birth to her.
That's true. Alistair's wife lost a lot of blood. I mean, there were complications. Oh, poor Sheridan, living most of her life with that hanging over her. Well, she must be relieved to finally know the truth, that she didn't kill anyone.
Especially Papa.
That's a relief to everybody.
Well, the best part is it brought you and Sheridan closer.
I see her in a totally different light. She's incredible.
I'm glad you feel that way, Luis. Because there's something that I
Oh,
really...
man. Yeah, I'm sorry, sis, but look, I gotta pack some stuff and get back over to Sheridan's. You know, Crane Security's watching her, but I'm still responsible in case French drug cartel hires someone else to try and kill her. So.
Well, I'll wait for you, Luis. I mean, you can't leave without hearing my news.
Teresa, I know what you're trying to do.
Mama, I am going to tell Luis that Ethan and I are in love. I mean, now that he and Sheridan are close again, I know he'll be happy for me.
Have you gone crazy? He will not be happy. He will be furious. Do not do it, Teresa.
Well, let's see how that wound is doing.
Look, I've been feeling fine since I've been on my feet.
Then it shouldn't be a big deal to check it then, right? looks like it's healing really nicely.
Yeah. I'm getting better.
So, I guess this means you won't have to stay here really that much longer, huh?
Guess not. You know, actually, it's been nice that your moms and pops let me hang here, considering I couldn't afford to go to the hospital. But, you know, now that I'm better, I guess it's time I, get back to my own place.
Well, you know, I'm not really sure that you should leave unless my mom says you're absolutely ready.
That's fine by me, you know. I mean, having a relapse ain't my thing.
I'm done. You can put your shirt back on.
Hey, you mind if I put on some music?
Oh, go ahead. You know, I don't really know if you should be playing this song. I mean, this is the song that caused that roller coaster ride we've been going on with Ethan and Teresa tonight. I mean, just hearing it is turning my stomach in knots, you know?
All right, well, it's true. They might have a rocky road ahead of them, but true love won out for Ethan and Teresa. So this song should be giving you goosebumps, not no knots in your stomach.
Well, I mean, I said it before, and I'll say it again. If love means going through the pain that Ethan and Teresa are going through, or if it means causing your family grief, I don't want it. It's not like I need that mess in my life, you know? I don't need it at all.
That's why I think you're wrong, Whitney. I think everybody needs love in their life. Even you.
Now is the perfect time to tell Luis that Ethan and I are in love. He and Sheridan are close again. And if he got past the fact that Sheridan's a crane, he can do the same with Ethan.
Stop deluding yourself, Teresa. It doesn't matter. If Ethan loves you, he's going to marry Gwen. And when that happens, this will all be over with, thank God.
Mama, you don't understand. Ethan is calling off his wedding to Gwen.
No. No, Teresita, that cannot be.
It's true. He said he can't marry Gwen when he has just discovered his love for me.
Dear God, oh my God. The Cranes will be furious. I fear for you, Teresa. I fear for all of us.
No, don't worry, Mama. Things will work out. My dream came true, and now that Ethan loves me, nothing bad will ever happen again.
Please, Mia, promise me that you will say nothing to Luis about what happened tonight. It will cause a chain of reactions with disastrous consequences.
But how can Luis object to my being in love with Ethan when he is so obviously in love with Sheridan?
Please, do not say that. Because if that is true, oh my God, the Cranes will be even more upset. They will come after this family with a vengeance.
Mama, you are worrying over nothing. Everything is gonna be wonderful from now on, and when Luis comes back in, I'm gonna tell him about Ethan, and he's gonna be fine with it. I know he will.
You know nothing. Nada, hija.
Luis loves me, Mama. And he wants me to be happy, and I have never been happier. So how can he have a problem with that?
Gwen, I want to be excited for you. I do. Just so much has gone into the planning of this wedding, and so much is riding on you becoming a part of the Crane family and its empire. And I know firsthand that even the most devoted fiancé can have his head turned.
Daddy, I know. Mother, you've told me this a million times. How he was engaged to marry someone else. And then you saw him. And you just knew you had to have him.
Once I set my sights on your father, he was mine. I got him to fall in love with me and leave the girl he was going to marry. It does happen, Gwen. I just want to make sure it doesn't happen to you.
How do I tell Gwen that I'm calling off the wedding? I mean, I love her, Sheridan, and the last thing I want to do is hurt her. But I can't marry Gwen if I love Teresa too. I mean, I feel I'd hurt her more by being dishonest. I can't enter into something as sacred as marriage, keeping this kind of secret from my wife.
No, you can't. But you're calling off the wedding to Gwen. Does she have any idea?
None. I tried talking to her and Teresa earlier, but she got called away when her father had a heart attack.
Oh my goodness, is Mr. Hotchkiss all right?
I don't know. I mean, I can't call their hospital due to their cell phone restrictions. I keep calling her at home, but all I get is her answering machine.
Poor Gwen. As if her father taking ill isn't enough bad news.
Teresa was suffering too. I mean, she didn't know what I decided. So I went ahead and told her without Gwen being there. It seemed cruel not to.
Look, Ethan, please don't take this the wrong way, because I'm not being critical. I want to make sure that you're sure you're making the right decision. By calling off this wedding, it's going to have enormous ramifications.
I'm fully aware of that.
I mean, not only will Gwen be hurt, but both sets of parents and Alistair are going to be blindsided. I mean, the two families have been planning on this wedding since you and Gwen were children. They'll be up in arms if you call it off.
Right, but I can't let that affect my decision. You know, this is my life. It's my choice. Both families are just going to have to accept it. But right now, I'm worried about Gwen.
So long as you're aware of how serious the consequences will be.
I am. And I'm prepared to take them.
Look, just promise me one thing. All right? Before you call off your wedding to Gwen, please be absolutely positive that what's in your heart for Teresa is love and not lust or infatuation.
Your kiss was a flame.
I just don't see how love can be worth all the things you have to go through. I mean, I've seen the torture that Teresa's had to endure, and it's just the beginning. She's gonna have to go up against Luis and Pilar in order to be with Ethan. And Ethan's gonna have to go against his family and Gwen's mother in order to be with Teresa. Not to mention the fact of breaking Gwen's heart in the process.
Look, I know ain't nothing exactly gonna be easy for Ethan and Teresa. But I think once things settle down, the high they're gonna feel from being in love is gonna make up for all this pain and upset they're feeling now.
Well, I'm sorry, Chad. I just don't see it.
Okay, think about what you go through when you prepare for a tennis match, all right? And now think about all the effort that's involved, all the pain and hard work. All right, it's not easy, but you keep on doing it because you know the payoff's gonna be worth it, right?
Well, yeah, of course.
Okay, and think about that cloud nine feeling that you get when you win a tennis match. That's what it's like being in love. Only it's better. It's more intense. And yeah, you may go through hell getting it, but once you got love, it's the most incredible high you'll ever know. And it all starts when you meet that right person. Because when you meet the right person, that's when you know that to go through, to be with them, it's gonna be worth it.
But how do you know if it's the right person?
You just do, Whitney. You just do.
The truth is, I started to care about Teresa. And I couldn't bring myself to admit it, so I went into denial. I mean, I told her that I didn't love her and that I never would. Then she got so upset that she took off on her brother's motorcycle and wound up having an accident.
No.
But when I got to the hospital, they told me that the girl in the accident had died. It turned out not to be her. But before I knew that, when I thought Teresa was dead, and that I'd lost her forever, I realized that I couldn't deny the truth any longer. See, what I felt for Teresa wasn't lust or infatuation. It was love. And that's why I can't go through with the wedding to Gwen. Though I love her, I also love Teresa.
Where'd Teresa go? I thought she wanted to tell me her news.
She's in the kitchen getting you a snack.
Well, that's sweet of her. You know, with everything that happened at Sheridan's, I didn't even get a chance to eat.
You know, Luis, Teresa could be a while, and you don't want to be late getting back to Sheridan's. Maybe you could leave now and pick something up on the way.
No, she's so happy right now. You know, I don't want to upset her.
Oh, she's a big girl. I'm sure she'll understand.
You know, you really did a good job of raising her, Mama.
Oh, you helped me, huh?
Well, I tried. For a while, I was really worried about her and those crazy fantasies she had about Ethan Crane. Now I'm getting hooked up with him. What? At least we don't have to worry about that anymore. He's marrying Gwen Hotchkiss. Relax, Mama. I'm not going to go after Julian and Alistair at the wedding. We'll be guarding Sheridan, that's all. Maybe we'll even have some fun, now that we know she didn't kill Papa.
Oh, I never thought Sheridan capable of murder. And now that Dr. Russell has uncovered the truth about that night, please, I hope you stop investigating the Cranes. I mean, it's very clear now that they had nothing to do with your father's disappearance.
Now, it's very clear that Sheridan had nothing to do with Papa's disappearance. Now, Julian and Alistair, that's a whole other ballgame.
What are you saying?
I'm saying I'm more convinced than ever that the Cranes are behind what happened to Papa. I think Papa was killed. The Cranes are behind it.
Oh, my God. You're serious?
Yeah. All right, but look, I'm not going to stop till I make them all pay. Find out exactly what happened. Alistair, Julian, Ethan. I'll bring them all down. I hate the Cranes. And nothing anyone says is going to make me change that.
Oh, in just a few days, I'm gonna be walking down the aisle in this gown to marry Ethan. It is going to be the most fabulous wedding this town has seen by far. My dream come true.
As long as it doesn't become a nightmare first.
Honestly, Mother, what is it gonna take to convince you that the situation with Daddy engaged to that other girl before you stole him away is not the same situation as with Ethan?
Well, until you say I do, I am not going to have a moment's peace.
And neither will I with you harping about Teresa.
I see her for what she is because I did what she is trying to do.
Mother, if Ethan had any feelings for Teresa, don't you think he would have told me by now? Ethan is not the kind of man to keep a secret like that from me.
But he's still a man, Gwen. And therein lies the problem.
Mother, I know the man I am marrying. Ethan loves me, not Teresa. There is nothing to worry about.
Just be careful, Gwen. Please, be very careful.
I wish there was something I could do to help.
You're helping me by listening to me and not judging me. I can't talk about this to anyone else.
Certainly not with our family. They'd have you in shock therapy by now.
Yes, with psychiatrist waiting by in case it didn't take. Still, I won't make decisions based on what my parents and grandfather want. This is my life. I have to follow my conscience and my heart.
I don't mean to add to your stress on this, but besides our family, did you ever consider Luis's reaction? Something tells me it's not going to be pretty.
Well, I can't worry about other people's reactions. And as I said, my main concern is Gwen right now. I have to tell her what's going on. And then I'll stand up for what I feel for Teresa with Luis.
Don't assume that Luis will just go along with your timetable. He's been like a surrogate father to Teresa ever since Pilar's husband disappeared. Once Teresa tells him that you're in love with her and that you're calling off the wedding because of it, he'll be like a bull seeing red. He'll go crazy. Who knows what he'll do?
So what do you say? Want to Want to shoot some hoops after supper?
Yeah, you bet. And maybe this time I'll let you win.
Crack me up. I'm so glad Teresa married you, huh? Cheers.
I knew things would work out. Luis and Ethan are best friends. Mama's wrong. Luis will accept that Ethan and I are in love. Now that he and Sheridan are close, he has to see the Cranes in a whole different light.
I'll hate the Cranes till the day I die.
What about Sheridan? She's a Crane.
Yeah. She's different. She's good and decent. She's not like all the men in the family. Alistair, Julian, Ethan. They're all rotten to the core. I want to make them pay for what they did to our family.
Luis, you have no proof that they had anything to do with Martin.
Not yet. But I will. Just wish you could quit working for them. I'm glad no one else in our family has ties to them. I don't think I could stand it if they did.
Excuse me, mijo. I must warn Teresa.
What? Warn her about what?
The enchiladas. What she's preparing could fall apart if your sister's not careful. Teresa? What could she be? Oh, dear God. I have to stop her from telling Luis about Ethan before it's too late.
Look, I know you keep saying how you can live without all the pain that Teresa's going through on account of Ethan. And I hear what you're saying. I mean, she shed a lot of tears. She's been mad miserable, but there's another way of looking at it, you know.
Which is?
All the pain that you go through to have love in your life is nothing compared to the pain that you'd go through if you just let love pass you by. That kind of pain, I don't think you ever get over. I think I'm gonna change the music now.
I want us to take our deal one step further.
What's that supposed to mean?
If Chad admits that he doesn't love Simone, I don't just want you to believe that Ethan will marry me. I want you to admit that you have feelings for Chad.
Okay. We got a deal. I'm gonna be honest with Whitney and Simone. Tell Simone that I ain't in love with her. Tell Whitney that she's the one I want. And you be honest with Gwen and Teresa.
There's something I really
tell
need to tell you.
As I woke up this morning.
Sheridan, don't worry about Luis going off on me. I'll find a way to deal with him.
How? On a good day, Luis's hate for our family is like a smoldering volcano. When he finds out about you and Teresa, he'll erupt like Mount St. Helens did.
Not necessarily.
So you're taking my idea about the tranquilizer gun?
No. Actually, I'm going to use something more powerful on Luis. His feelings for you.
Feelings?
Come on, Sheridan. It's no secret that you and Luis are getting close again.
Yes, I guess we are. Still, how does that help you?
Well, if Luis cares about you, and Teresa and I both think that he does, then how can he think that all Cranes are evil, rotten people?
The way Luis's mind works, I wouldn't count on it.
Okay, so there's no way we can predict what he'll do. So I'll just play the hand he deals me. But right now, my #1 priority is Gwen. I need to talk to her and tell her what's going on. Hello?
Ethan, darling, it's your bride-to-be.
Gwen. Hi.
So, how's your father doing?
I don't envy Ethan having to tell Gwen that he's in love with Teresa. And that he's calling off the wedding. I envy Ethan even less having to deal with Luis. Doesn't matter how close Luis and I are getting. When Teresa tells him that they're in love, he'll go berserk. And then he'll go after Ethan.
You can't leave yet. I mean, you haven't had your snack.
I wasn't bailing on you. I just wanted to put my bag in the car and get it out of the way. Did you come and tell me my food's ready?
Almost. I was just going out to get your favorite ice cream to have afterwards.
Oh, chocolate mint? Look, that's sweet of you, but... All right, I don't want you overdoing it after your accident, okay? You need to take it easy. Just skip on the ice cream.
But tonight was so special for me, Luis, and I want it to be special for you, too.
I'm just glad to see you're so happy. Whatever your news is, it's put you on top of the world.
It has. Starting tonight, my life will never be the same.
With a build-up like that, you gotta tell me, what has you walking on air?
I'm in love, Luis, with the most wonderful man I have ever met. And the best part is, he's in love with me, too.
Oh, this is great news.
Oh, then you're happy for me?
Yeah, of course I am. As long as he's worthy of you.
Oh, he is, Luis. He's the best.
Well, who is he? I gotta know the name of the guy who's fallen in love with my kid sister.